Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Vicente.
And this is Izzy.
And welcome back to the IV Podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, this is our spoiler-free / spoiler review of Spider-Man Across the Spider-verse. Now, before we get into our review and thoughts, I just want to shout out these people on TikTok. And no, before anyone asks, I'm not getting paid. They didn't ask me to do it. I'm just doing it, and I'll explain why. Izzy doesn't know, but I'll explain a bit. So, it's about 23 of them. The first one, Myriam. Second, Isa Introvert. Number 3, Spooky Mulder. Number 4, TB Redhead. Number 5, Eli. Number 6, Ranger 19116. Number 7, Fright Fiend. Number 8, Black Da Vinci. Number 9, Spectacular Spider-Man 95. Number 10, Jet 6799. Number 11, Assassin Killer. That's a W profile pic, by the way. That's Red Hood. I love it. Number 12, Cinema Fans. Number 13, Spider Uzi. He was the Feather Serpent God, but he changed his whole username, and I like it a little better. Number 14, Melissa is Loud. Number 15, RDS559. Number 16, Pikachu Gaming 626. Number 17, my homie, Sir Victor Greenblade. That's my dude right there. That's my dog. Number 18, Ermy Wormy. Number 19, Hunter Loves Horror. Number 20, CERN. 21, Gabe DM. Number 22, Shad. And finally, number 23, Gabriel Excelsior 08. Now, for those wondering why I shouted out those TikTok names, here's my thing. Those are content creators that I've met on TikTok that have been so nice, and they're people I look up to. And they're fans of the podcast, too. Mm-hmm. They always give me feedback. And, you know, in a crappy world that the world is right now, we can all use a little love and a little shout out and a little inspire. Oh, Riley and Ty, what's up? What's up, Riley? What's up, Ty? Man, Ty, you're one of my favorite supporters, man. I love you, Ty. We both love you. We love you and Riley. But yeah, back to those TikTok creators. I look up to them. Those names I mentioned, I'll tag you in the video. And I'll, screen record this. But I just want to say thank you to you guys for being massive fans. And just, you guys are people I look up to when it comes to content creators, whether it's Star Wars, horror, Jurassic Park, comics, just anything. You guys have been so cool. Izzy sees your guys' comments. She looks in. I talk to you guys about her just like, oh, look at this video, or they said this. And honestly, like I said, they're not even paying me to do it. I'm just doing it out of the kindness of my heart. And follow those people. I'm going to tag them in this TikTok video. I'm going to, like I said, screen record. But yeah, follow these people. Izzy, you have anything you want to say to them?
I just want to say thankful for how helpful you guys have been. I'm not on the everyday social media part because I run my own social media accounts for my small business. So I'm usually busy with that. But I just want to say thankful. And especially in today's age, it's just nice to know that there's people out there who are starting out and understand how we feel and are willing to help and not just gatekeep the entire time.
Yeah, and to keep it simple, we did this podcast channel for everything just to welcome everyone to where there's not going to be any hate, any opinions welcome. I just want to get that out of the way. I love you guys. Whoever, I tag. And to those I forgot, I still love all you guys. Don't get me wrong. And I think I might do this monthly, shout out people. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, let's get right into it. Izzy, Across the Spider-verse.
Oh, this movie was not what I expected. I only watched probably the first trailer, and then I tried not watching anything else because I didn't want to spoil myself, and I know sometimes trailers can give things away. But I had expectations, good expectations. I was expecting it to be good, but at the same time had no expectations. I was curious where they were going to take this story. I had an idea, but I wanted to see what their take on it was. It was definitely took a direction I was not expecting for the majority of the movie. I'll get into what it is.
It was good. Starting right now is our spoiler-free section. The first 6 minutes now. This was a really good movie. When people said this is like Empire Strikes Back and Infinity War without spoiling just yet, believe it. It's true. Yeah. It's so bittersweet. It's so good. Let's just say I had high expectations for this movie, and it still exceeded it. It was good. The mature and dark theme. Mm-hmm. This is way more mature and dark than the first movie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was good. Miguelohara is a fucking beast. And Spot, I'll talk about the villain Spot a little bit more in our spoiler talk. But Spot was really, really good. I loved him. you know, and then seeing the different types of spider people, the spider cast. Not gonna say who we saw until the timer's up, but yeah, it was awesome, you know. And I'm gonna say it right now, this is my new favorite Spider-Man movie. I didn't think there was a Spider-Man movie that can keep up with Spider-Man 2, but this movie did a lot.
Yeah, this movie was definitely probably has been put up to like one of my top 3 Spider-Man movies. It is that good. And I think the storylines that they decided to follow in this movie are done really well, and the tones they chose to play with are done amazingly, and they are shown great. And it for this being a sequel, it does a great job.
Yeah, this is one of those sequels where it's better than the original. I didn't think the sequel could beat the first movie, but no, it does. I still love the first movie. I still love the first Spider-Verse movie, but this one, it took it. It was here, and it just went way more. It was good. You know, they done way more with the character Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales. Just a good job to the developers of this movie, to Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. You guys did a fucking amazing job. You know, I give my hat off to you guys.
Yeah, you guys for I think what was it 5 years?
Yeah, no, not 5 years, but like for the amount of time that they worked on this movie, they really perfected the animation. The animation looks fucking good. Mm-hmm. Like we said in our review for the first Spider-Verse movie, they make every animation and every universe look so unique in their own way. Where Spider-Gwen's universe is all bright colored pink, but it looks so cool aesthetically. You know, and then we get to Miguel O'Hara's universe, and it looks so cool. Everything has its own uniqueness, just like Spider-Punk's universe. Everything is unique in its own way.
Yeah, everything has its own place, and it's done so well. Nothing feels like it's left behind or it's not talked about enough. Everything is done. Everything has a great balance. Whether we're talking about the Spider people or the villains, everything just has a good balance.
Yeah, Spot was really good. Without, spoiling just yet, I was thinking that Spot was going to be a villain that's just like, whatever, I don't really care. But no, Spot gets fucking terrifying in this movie. And I'm not going to say how just yet, but Spot, I think the villain Spot alone is worth it.
Yeah, I think he's definitely one that we're going to have to watch out for. Because I'm trying not to spoil anything.
Just yet, yeah.
But him as a villain, he has such a humor to him, but at the same time, he knows how to get serious, and that's what makes his character so good.
Yeah, and his powers are so cool, opening up little portals. It could be far away. It can be. He's OP. To me, he's a little OP. And if we ever saw a live action version of him, I think I would like it.
Oh, I don't know. I think a live action would be hard to do, but at the same time, I think really cool.
Oh, I think they can pull it off. If they can pull it off with this movie, they can pull it off in live action.
Yeah,
that'd be cool to see. And Miguel O'Hara, and for someone that's Latino, I'm finally glad we got to see Miguel O'Hara. Hey, shout out to all my Latinos. We get to see Jaime Reyes and Blue Beetle this year. Oh, I'm excited. It's our time to shine. I'm glad that we're getting a lot more representation with our heroes today. But back to Miguel O'Hara, that dude was a beast. He's voiced by Oscar Isaac, who's very underrated as an actor. He was good in Moon Knight, and it was one of my favorite things about the Star Wars Disney trilogy. And he was given what he worked with. He did okay for those movies. But him as Miguel O'Hara, he was a fucking beast. He was way better as Miguel O'Hara than he was Moon Knight.
Yeah, I think really better than Midnight?
Oh, hell yeah. He was scary in this.
Oh, okay. When we're talking about that, yes, he definitely...
Like intimidation factor-wise and muscular-wise, this man was going to whoop your ass.
Yeah, he was.
Like, I think this man can give fucking Thanos and King the Conqueror the work.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think he's going to give any villain a run for their money.
Yeah, he says they really captured Miguel O'Hara cool. And then seeing all these different spider people, and we saw some in the trailers already, with the spectacular Spider-Man. It was just cool seeing all these throwbacks, and honestly, I didn't think they could pull it off. And I want to say more, but our timer's not up yet. We have 40 seconds left. So, Izzy, anything you want to get up before we talk spoilers?
Before we talk spoilers, I just want to say, if you enjoyed the first one, definitely go watch this one. This one is going to exceed your expectations, and you just have to watch it for yourself to understand how we're feeling right now.
Yeah,
What about you?
it was good. What would you rate this movie? I already said 10 out of 10.
For me, I don't know if I could give it a 10 out of 10. So I think I'm gonna give it a 9.8 out of 10.
Okay, that's still good. That's still good.
It's still a really good
Oh
score.
yeah. It's that good. Like I said, I didn't think this movie could beat out Spider-Man 2 as my all-time favorite. Without, talking spoilers, just said we got a few more seconds. So yeah. And the timer is up. Okay, let me turn off the timer. Okay, so we're gonna talk spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is our spoiler talk. Izzy, holy shit. I did not think it was gonna end that way.
I did not either. Didn't even see that at all in any of the trailers, so it surprised me so much.
And we got a Prowler version of Miles. It was so cool. And we finally get to see a live action Prowler in his childish Gambino. And he was already Aaron Davis in Spider-Man Homecoming. That was such a cool setup. And it's so cool that we finally get to see live action Spider people mix in with animated. Because I was kind of scared that, okay, so will the animated characters be live action or the live action be animated? But no, they did it perfectly, as we saw with Childish Gambino as a live action Aaron Davis, aka the Prowler. That was cool. And the fact that we got to see Toby and Andrew Garfield, granted it was this archive footage, but still, that's so cool. And we get a mention of Tom Holland and Doctor Strange, with Miguelohara saying that he already dealt with this, due to Doctor Strange and that little nerd from Earth 19999. It was just so cool. Seeing all the Spider people too, Spider-Man Unlimited, Spectacular Spider-Man, just everyone. Oh, it was so cool.
Yeah, I think seeing all the Easter eggs and all the different Spider-Man were probably one of the highlights of this movie, along with everything else. The mesh between the live action and the cartoons were done really well. You could tell, of course, but it was done in a way where it didn't look unnatural. It was done really well, and this movie is just it's so good.
Chef's kiss. Oh, and then we get to see Spot go to the Venom universe. That was cool. I got spoiled on it because it got shown in an international trailer. But Izzy didn't get spoiled on it, and she looked at me, and I was like, yep. Oh, it was so cool just seeing it. I kept thinking Venom was going to pop up in that scene.
Really?
And take a swipe at the Spot. But it's so cool. We get to see these different universes and Spider universes, an evil version of Miles Morales. It was just so cool seeing all these different universes. And we get to learn a little bit about Miguel O'Hara, and he gets some of his origin story a little bit correctly, as far as comic book wise. And then Peter B. Parker finally being a dad, despite him hating kids in the first Spider-Verse movie.
It was so cute. I'm sorry. What was her name?
Mayday Parker.
Mayday Parker. Yeah. She was one of the most adorable things in the movie.
And as someone who loves kids, I have a lot of nephews and nieces, and we always talk about having kids, but not till 3 years from now, 3 to 4 years from now, but I love kids, I love little babies and stuff. I'm a sucker for animals and kids and stuff.
The cute little babies. You can never say no to them.
Yeah, God, this movie was just perfect. Like I said, just seeing every Spider people, seeing Toby, seeing Andrew Garfield, and the Spider being archive footage, like we said.
Yeah.
It was so cool to see it come to fruition. I think my favorite one is still Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think seeing Prowler in his costume and everything was one of the best things, and I'm really hoping we get to see that in a future Tom Holland or just even a Venom movie. I don't know if he would mix with the Venom.
Maybe, but the ending, I did not think. I was shocked that Miles went to the wrong Earth, but at the same time, it makes sense because as Miguel O'Hara said when he captured Miles Morales, was that the spider that bit you was from this Earth. So you were never supposed to be Spider-Man. And now that Miles Morales is an anomaly, kind of like a time remnant, that's just crazy as hell. That he's kind of a living paradox in a way to where he doesn't, it doesn't matter if he's Spider-Man.
Yeah. And I do want to say, watching this movie, I went in this movie, I really enjoyed the first one because I really liked the tone. It was still had its serious moments, but was really happy and upbeat. This movie took an entirely different tone, and we'll get into that more later. But I just want to say I was probably shocked almost throughout this whole entire movie just because of how different the tone was. Not that I disliked it, but I was just shocked throughout it, just trying to understand how dark this has
Yeah.
gone. But it was done really well.
Oh, hell yeah. It was done really good. Okay. Now, Izzy, you ready to get with our positives?
I'm ready.
And I'm just going to say it right now. We only have positives. We have no mixed or negatives. It was good. So starting with our first positive, the opening scene with Spider-Gwen. As we see, it was an interesting opening with Spider-Gwen. We find out a little bit more of her backstory about how her version of Peter Parker, they were friends, but he was getting bullied, and he wanted to be, special. He wanted to have powers. And this is accurate to the Spider-Gwen comics. He dies as a lizard, and Spider-Gwen gets framed for it, and then her father's hunting her down, and then we get a Renaissance-themed vulture from another universe attacking Spider-Gwen's universe, and it's just so cool seeing her universe, how unique it is. But I think what breaks my heart during that scene is that her father tries to arrest her, even when she reveals her identity to him, because he's hell-bent on trying to capture Spider-Gwen in that universe for the murder of Peter Parker, quote-unquote.
Yeah, and then she has to escape, and I think knowing her backstory gives you so much more sympathy and empathy for her character and understand her that much more than what we learned in the first movie, and it makes me appreciate her character a lot more, understanding what she's been through,
Oh, yeah.
what's going through her mind, and the reason she's making certain decisions.
Oh, yeah. And it explains how she can act like a little cold-hearted. When you finally see her origin story and what she had to do just to survive, you understand where she's coming from. Even though, in this movie, she's a little bit more cold-hearted.
Yeah.
How she only saw Miles just because she needed to capture the spy. And then just everything, how she's just sticking to business. That's a little heartbreaking, but you understand why she's like that.
You understand why she has to be so serious. And then later in the movie, we also see the complications of everything, too.
Oh, yeah. It's just a whole mess.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. And number 2 in our positive list, Miles Morales with his own version of Parker Luck. They did a really good job. I just thought that they could have made a cliche and that he had a perfect life balance as Spider-Man and Miles Morales. But this is what I said. This is what I like about the characterization of Spider-Man himself. Just a character of Spider-Man, whether it's Peter Parker, Miguel O'Hara, or Miles Morales, or Gwen Stacy, or anyone in general, is that they have their own version of Parker Luck. And as we see in the movie, when Miles Morales is trying to stop the spot robbing an ATM at a convenience store, he's supposed to have a meeting with his parents and the school counselor to get accepted into some colleges, most notably Princeton and stuff like that. And yes, he's protecting the city and the convenience store as Spider-Man. But what about Miles Morales? He's getting fucked over. His parents are thinking he just doesn't care. And then his dad gets this whole promotion ceremony party because he's going to be captain now of the police force. And he's doing his duty as Spider-Man, which is good. But then it's bad for Miles because, Officer Jefferson Davis gives this whole big speech and he mentions Miles, but Miles isn't there. And so for them to humanize Miles Morales too, that's what takes the icing on the cake for me, as this is better than Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Is the fact that they got to humanize Miles Morales, even some of the other Spider people.
Yeah, I think that's what makes this, and well, like you just said, that's why this movie can go up to Spider-Man 2, because it has the same qualities that Spider-Man 2 does. It makes Miles Morales' character interesting as just Miles Morales and not Spider-Man at the same time. You can understand both storylines and still appreciate both separately, not together.
Oh yeah, and I told Izzy, I think Miles Morales is becoming my favorite version of Spider-Man. I love Peter Parker. Peter Parker is always going to be the OG. He's always going to be my homie. But Miles Morales, he's getting some good stories. The fact that he's finally getting the respect he deserves is just awesome. So my hat goes off to Shamik Moore. He's killing it as Miles Morales. And whoever gets casted as the live action Miles Morales has a big shoe to fill, but I know they'll do a good job when it comes to Miles in live action.
Yeah, and I think for me, as someone this is my first time seeing Miles Morales because I didn't read the comics, I'm really excited to hopefully see him on the live screen soon in the other Spider-Man movies.
I think he just got confirmed that Miles Morales is making his live action debut in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe we'll see Childish Gambino again as Prowler.
Oh,
I hope. That'd be hella cool. They kind of set it up. They kind of did. All right. And number 3 on our positive list, the darker tone works really good. And it's amazing. So what we mean by that is that in the first movie, it's family fun. And this movie is family fun too. But this movie's dark as hell. You see people getting killed. You have other spider people cussing. My nephew Elijah was like, dang, they're kind of cussing for a PG movie. And it's true. This movie is serious and it's dark, but it works really good. It's a whole completely different film from the first one.
Yeah. Whereas with the first one, I feel like there were a lot of like happier tones with like little serious. This movie is a lot more serious, a lot more darker tones with a little bit of humor thrown in. But it does it really well and it balances everything out, so it doesn't feel like it's too serious. Uh, I think the dark tone, especially if you were like me, it surprised me a lot of how dark they took it. That's why I said I was shocked while I was watching this movie, because I'm like, it felt like a gut punch after every single scene.
Oh, yeah. And granted, we do see Uncle Aaron and Peter Parker die in the first Spider-Verse movie, but the first Spider-Verse movie is still a lot more lighthearted and fun. And this one's just dark, but it works good. It's as if it still exists in the same continuity, and it still does. But damn, they did an amazing job. I don't know, it was good.
Yeah, and I think just the way because the topic of this is kind of just going over the origin of Spider-Man and what has to happen in order to be Spider-Man. I think that's what makes the tone so dark. Like, even though being Spider-Man is this amazing thing, it just goes over
what it comes at a price.
Exactly.
And we'll talk about it in a little bit, but yeah, it was just so good.
Yeah.
All right, and number 4 on our positive list, Miguel O'Hara / Spider-Man 2099. Like, we already got it out of the way. Oscar Isaac was the perfect choice for Spider-Man 2099. I think he'd be badass as a live-action version too.
Oh yeah,
I would want to see that.
That would be really perfect. Cool.
He was good, and you get his origin story that he was supposed to die, but he became Spider-Man, and because of it, the Spider-Verse itself almost got destroyed. And it's so cool. And out of all the Spider people, he doesn't have a sense of humor. He's just serious, and that's an interesting take.
Yeah, I think that's what probably surprised me about his character the most, because I'm so used to Spider-Man being this carefree, spontaneous, quirky person, and he was just all serious, all go with the plan, nothing else, and it was kind of different, but also in a good way.
Yeah, even Peter B. Parker told him, like, come on, dude, lighten up. But Miguel's like, no, I'm not going to lighten up. There's an anomaly out there that could destroy our Spider-Verse. And it's so cool, and I love that. Miguel O'Hara is a little lighthearted in the comics, too. He does have serious moments, just like any other Spider people. But damn, in this movie, he plays no games. Like, at one point, I thought he was going to kill Miles. He was close. He was whooping his ass until Miles got the upper hand. But yeah, no, Miguel O'Hara was a savage.
Yeah, I think he probably would have done whatever he could to stop him. So I wouldn't have put it past him I don't know if he would have killed him, but he definitely would have knocked him out if he could have.
He's one character I want to see a spin-off film.
Yeah.
In that universe. He deserves it.
I hope so. I think seeing even just like a spin-off or a live action, I think would be amazing. Just that, because it's such a, I don't want to say it's a fresh of breath of air for the character of Spider-Man, but it's so different that you just want to see more of the character.
Yep. Like I said, give my man a spinoff movie or just a TV show, and I'll watch it day one. All right, and number 5 on our positive list, the cast of Spider People and the Spider-Man headquarter itself. Now, we already said we got to see footage of Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, a mention of Tom Holland, all these different Spider People, even the same animation for the Spider-Man PS4 game, voiced by Yuri. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm not going to try to butcher it and stuff. And we get to see Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, as the Prowler, and it was just so cool. But what makes this interesting, like we're going to talk about it now, what Izzy said, is that there's something called canon events that have to happen to where Morales' canon event is his dad has to die. And for a lot of these Spider People, they have to have a sacrifice happen in order to keep the stability of the Spider-Verse intact. Because, like we said, Miguel O'Hara was supposed to die, but he changed it. And since he changed it, it almost destroyed the Spider-Verse, and it destroyed a lot of its home world.
Yeah, and I think this was my first time seeing the origin stories of Spider-Man, and I think having that element of this movie is what makes it so dark, like I said earlier. But I think it adds something that all the Spider-Man can relate to, and they go through. And I think it just it connects them all, but it's also makes them all what's so unique with all the different versions that we
Yep.
see in these scenes. Like we have Spider Cat, we have Dino, Spider Dino.
Yeah. There's every version of Spider-Man there, and it's so cool. Even like the wacky ones that are just like one-offs and stuff, like Spider Cop. He gets mentioned a lot in Spider-Man PS4, and it's so cool. But for me, like now, we're still going to continue our Spider-Verse marathon with all the Tobey, Andrew, and Tom Holland movies. But now when I watch them, I'm going to keep thinking, what was their canon event? It's going to be such an interesting watch now that we know that every Spider-Man has to have a canon event. And it happened in the movie, too, to where Miles Morales saves Spider-Man India's, was it father or uncle?
It was
his father, I think.
It was his girlfriend's dad.
Oh, it was his girlfriend's dad. So Miles Morales saves Spider-Man's India's girlfriend's dad, and he was supposed to die. But because Miles did it, it disrupted the Spider-Verse, and, they were able to contain it. But that's what's so cool. I like that concept, too, where they have to let things happen. And now it makes you wonder, if Tobey Maguire's version and Andrew Garfield's version were told about the Spider Society and canon events, could they do it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they could have.
I don't know. I feel like it would have been so hard, but at the same time, I feel like maybe Tobey would understand, but I don't know about Andrew.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, and now moving on to our last positive, number 6, the ending / the entire third act. Now, as we see in the movie, all the spider people are chasing after Miles, but Miles Morales is getting the best of them, and that's what makes him such a unique version of Spider-Man, and that's why he's becoming one of my favorites, is that he's able to hold his own against Miguel O'Hara, against all these different spider people, and he's able to outsmart them. But the minute he got transported to a different Earth 42, I was like, that's weird, but okay, whatever, because his Earth is Earth 1610. I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's just a typo. But no, he got sent to a different universe.
Yeah, and that universe was where his spider that bit him was from, and so that's why they sent him to 42, because that's what the machine analyzed was the DNA from the spider. And I think the third act of this movie was something I never expected.
Oh my god!
At all. I was not expecting this whole storyline with his dad dying and Uncle Aaron, and then the reverse. I don't want to say reverse, but the Prowler Miles.
Yeah, that was Prowler Miles. We'll say that. Yeah, but it was it was crazy as hell, And then when he finally went home to that version of Miles' home, and he told his mom he was Spider-Man. She's like, "Who's Spider-Man?" I went, "What the hell?" At first, I thought he lost his powers, and then Uncle Aaron comes in, and I was like, "Oh my god! Don't tell me Uncle Aaron's married to Miles' mom." That would have been such a weird moment. That probably would have been a negative right there. But then Uncle Aaron kidnaps Miles because he's like, "You're not Miles. You're not my Miles." And then he locks him up. And then we finally see who Prowler is. And it's an evil version of Miles. And it's so dark and it's so cool. And I want this movie now. Yeah. I need the next movie now. It comes out next year in March. I cannot wait that much longer.
I know. We need to know what happens.
Yeah. Oh, and then we finally get to see Spider-Ham return, Spider-Man Noir, Penny Parker, the original team from the first movie, all of them teaming up to go find Miles and help him. Because Spider-Gwen finds out that you can stop a canon event and have no consequences because her dad retired as a cop, but her dad was supposed to die as a cop. And so she learns through that is that you can get rid of a canon event as if they leave or something like that. I don't know how they really explained it well, but who knows? I think Miles' dad is still going to die in the next movie, but I think it'll be more of a self-sacrifice than like him like actually dying.
See, I think it might be the other way around, where I think Miles is going to sacrifice himself, especially since he's a time remnant, or it's not this
anomaly.
He's going to be like, what if I get rid of myself? That gets rid of the anomaly. So I think we might go that route, especially if this is supposed to be the last of the Miles Morales trilogy.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it right now. I think Spot, Miles Morales as Prowler, and Uncle Aaron from Earth 42, I think all three are going to team up in the next movie. It kind of seems like they would. That'd be a missed opportunity right there. Have your own version of the Sinister Six, because then now you got the Spot team fighting our core heroes, and you have Miguel O'Hara Spider people being mixed in the middle. It's just the next movie is going to be chaos.
Yeah.
And I love this ending. And it reminds me so much of Empire Strikes Back, and I get it now. Because in Empire Strikes Back, it ends with Luke and Leia, Luke, Leia, Chewie, and Lando planning a search party for Han.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they escaped with their lives, but Luke got his hand cut off by Vader, and it's ending similar to that. Yeah, Spider-Gwen was able to get the old team back together, but what about Miles? He's trapped. And yeah, we kind of see him plotting an escape, and he will escape, of course, but just, it's so bittersweet, and I like it. And what I was afraid of what this movie would do is that it would end so suddenly, because that's the problem with a lot of two-parter movies, is that the first part will always end with a lot of conflicts not resolved until the next movie, but this will resolve everything.
Yeah, and when I was watching the third act, after every single scene ended, I'm like, is it going to end here? Is it end here?
Yeah, I was afraid.
Please don't end here.
Yeah, but with the way it ended, I'm very satisfied and happy. But please, I need Spider-Verse 3 right now. Just release it this year, please. I need it. It sucks.
Or maybe even a teaser trailer?
Oh, I'll take that.
I'll take that. Like, maybe Christmas time, October?
Maybe, who knows?
I would totally want to watch that.
All right, and that's going to do it for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie review. Like we said, this movie's just perfect. Mm-hmm. Chef's kiss. My primo, Peter Padilla, what's up, man? He texted me because he got to see an early screening, and he told me, bro, you're going to love this movie. It's going to replace Spider-Man 2 as your all-time favorite Spider-Man movie. I'm like, whatever. No, he was right. Oh, my God. This is my new favorite Spider-Man movie, with Spider-Man 2 being a close second. But, maybe one day I'll prefer Spider-Man 2, but as of right now, I prefer Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, this movie was so good. And I mean, is it a different tone compared to the first if you really enjoyed the tone of the first? Yes, but I think if you enjoy the character of Spider-Man and you appreciate the animation and the art in these movies, I would definitely still give it a watch, because it's gonna suck you in no matter what.
Oh my God, yeah.
You just gotta watch it.
Yep. All right, and that's gonna do it for this episode. Hope you guys stuck around. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We love interacting with our fans. Yep. And as always, take care of others, but take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Peace out, everyone.
Bye, guys.